video. My pal Billy from Edinburgh showed me, and it was a guy who was talking about a Chinese guitar. He'd ordered a Chinese Telecaster and he was showing you all the things that were crap about it. And so I thought I'll do a Chinese guitar and what to expect video. Oh, I bought this actually from China when I was in China. Unfortunately the city I went to didn't have any guitar factories in it, so I had to order it off a company called Taobao, Taobao, which you can get on here in the UK. You can get on the website just to look at stuff, but it's a really bad search engine. It's dead hard to find a Telecaster. But my girlfriend, very helpful, is Chinese, very helpfully found this one for me. So it was very cheap, and I didn't buy the cheapest one. I bought a slightly more expensive one. You look at this one, it's quite fancy. It's really, really bright. Hard to get it with the sunshine on it. But so this has got like a veneer top in the middle sandwich, double bound. This is really bright video. I need to get a better camera. It's a sort of light coloured wood, which I reckon is probably ash, and then it's got a mahogany veneer on the back again. I think it's mahogany, ash in the middle, or something like that. There's a few things you can see. I just don't know if that's going to come out in the video at all. There you can see in the ash in the middle, there's a flaw in the wood, a dark bit, which would never pass, you know, QC for like a really expensive guitar. So these are the things that you don't get with a Chinese guitar. Also, I'm pretty sure this is handmade, because the telly body isn't really the right shape. You can see the scratch plate doesn't quite line up with the edge of the body. Well, the scratch plates will just be out of box, you know, they'll be buying them for, you can buy the scratch plates really cheap on eBay as it is from China. So I reckon the guitar is smaller, and if you compare it to another telly, I don't actually have a Fender one. I've got like a couple of sort of, but there's quite a difference in size. Yeah, it's quite a bit smaller. You can see that the scratch plate actually fits that one. It's the same scratch plate. So it's but these are the things you get for one, because it's handmade. So if it was CNC routed, you know, with a computer, every body will come out exactly the same. So these don't. So it's sort of handmade at some point. If you're going for extreme details, things like, it's not actually that bad. The line up bits, the through string bits on the back aren't perfectly in line, but they're really pretty good. I've seen much more expensive. Well, every guitar's much more expensive than this, but I've seen very expensive guitars where they're just not quite in line. I don't know. It's actually quite difficult to do. It doesn't make any difference to the sound. What else to say? The hardware on it is, well, the machine heads I wasn't that impressed with. They say Fender on them. I was actually asked whether I wanted a logo on it when I bought it or not. I assumed it would be a Fender logo. I said I didn't want a logo, but the machine heads are still Fender branded. When I got them, the D string one was a bit crunchy and a bit stiff, but it doesn't seem to do anything anymore. It seems to be fine now. I think maybe when you just put brand spanking new things on, they just maybe, you know, take a wee while to get loosened up. Maybe it just wasn't quite cast right, but it's working fine now. Machine heads are all right. The nut is relatively well cut. It's maybe not supreme. It's just plastic, but it's all right. The frets, I noticed the guy in the other video, I can't remember what the guy's name is, I'm sorry, he's got 30,000 subscribers though. I've got 150, so I'm not going to be damaging his reputation much. He's talking about the sharp fret ends. This one isn't bad when I got it. I actually got two. My girlfriend got one as well. She got it earlier because she got one that wasn't painted, so it only took 3 days to get delivered, whereas this one took 10 days because they had to paint it and then post it. So ours is just all bare wood, and it's the same. The neck's been finished, and then I think the frets are put in after that, and then it's just filed or sanded down either side to take off the sharp fret ends, which unfortunately does take off the lacquer on the corner of the fretboard, like kind of here, all the way down. So you know, if you imagine just running a file or whatever it is to run down there, but according to the guy in the other guy's video, he's talking about that's what you do when you've got binding, because you know, obviously all you're doing then is taking off the top layer of plastic, which doesn't matter, whereas this you are actually exposing the wood. But in saying that, it gives it a lovely rolled in feeling, which I've had from, you get in old guitars, most of the guitars I buy are old, but new ones sometimes it's a very sharp edge, whereas these don't have that. So it plays, it feels absolutely lovely. The finish on it is absolutely smashing. It really is. I don't think the headstock's quite Fender Telecaster shape. It's not quite, and it's got a skunk stripe in the back, which only really annoys me because it doesn't need to have that there because it's got a separate fingerboard, so it's not a one-piece neck. The wood itself is the sort of, I mean, it'll be maple. The neck itself on the back is actually really pretty good. It's damn good quality. The fretboard isn't as good. It's alright, it's got a bit of, is it, what do you call it? It's not burl, it's called. You know, sort of shadows and a wee bit of flame to it. But you can tell it's just not quite as good. Well, I mean, some of the guitars I've got are very good. It's just not, the finish on it's brilliant, and only if you really knew what you were looking at would you know that. I don't think it's super high grade wood really anywhere, but there's arguments to be had on whether it really makes that much difference. It is wood. The neck plate as well says Fender California on it. And it's gold. So I mean, I didn't pay an awful lot more than Civic did for hers. Hers was she had 2 humbuckers. Didn't have a scratch plate. I think it had a scratch plate with 1 humbucker in it, and no binding. It was just a solid piece of wood, and it was chamfered on the top like a Strat is there. And yeah, but it was nice. I mean, it was, as soon as I played it, it's like, you know, these are going to be all right. And going for the consistency, buying 2 guitars from the same factory, I kind of assumed that they're all going to be sort of like this. Just because it was brand spanking new, it did need some adjusting. I mean, now this has now been like a month I've had it, and it has been needed adjusting over time, which I'm kind of used to anyway, because I normally get guitars that have been, you know, no one's played for 5 years or 10 years, so they've just been sitting there, so they kind of need to be brought back to life, and you know, everything, if it's not had strings on it for, you know, 20 years, it's at the neck, you know, you just got to get used to being moved again. But I mean, everything, just now this plays fantastic. The bridge is solid. It's a good thick piece of metal. It's like, and it really can't compare. Even the pole pieces on the bridge pickup are gold as well, to go with the rest of the gold of the guitar. The humbucker, the finish on the gold on the cover on the humbucker isn't super great. It looks like it's been painted or dipped, you know, amateurish. Well, not amateur. So it's just, this is me being so picky. It's ridiculous. This is if I'd paid £1,000 for this or £1,500 for it. What you would complain about? But ultimately, if you're buying it cheap, it doesn't matter. I was looking up AliExpress to see if I could find the same guitars. I couldn't find this exact one, but they're running in at about, was it $300 or something like that? And it's like, it depends what you expect, I think. I mean, I've not touched, well, I did replace the volume and tone control, but not because they had to be replaced, just because I like putting lots of switches and stuff in guitars, and this humbucker actually came with 4 wires, like you get with expensive pickups, so I was able to coil split it, and it was like, oh, I couldn't have those wires sitting there not using, so I put a push-pull pot on the volume control, which it doesn't coil split it, puts it into series. It puts it from series into parallel mode, which makes it sound a bit more like a single coil. And because it was in there anyway, I put a push-pull on the tone control as well, which knocks the 2 pickups into series. Yeah, which I won't use them for the purposes of this demonstration. So this is, it wasn't the cheapest one I could find. There was a couple that were a bit cheaper than this, and I could have saved £4 by getting it without paint on it. But I figured they did a good job with the paint. I could never have done that myself with the varnish. It's dead smooth. Actually, I've just noticed it's still not even taken off the plastic cover on the horrible mother of pearl scratch plate. But I had options with it as well, with what I wanted. I reckon I could have got, I didn't have to, this was just like a sort of an example one they had on the website. You know, you sort of pick this one and then you modify it within your, whatever it is you want. I think I could probably have got a humbucker in the bridge, or a different type of bridge, or, you know, a single coils, or silver hardware, or a different colour pick guards, but I just thought I'll just do. I've kind of grown on the mother of pearl. It's not as gaudy. It's like a cheap mother of pearl, So it's only got about half as many sparkly bits in it as I've got a Godin downstairs that's got that on it. It's really, really extreme, you know, it gives you a sore head looking at it. This is much more subdued. But it's quite a classy looking guitar. Now, so I'll turn it on. So this is just a bridge pickup. Right, actually I was talking to Rab earlier on, he wanted me to, if I put the strap on, he says, oh, you should explain what it is you're playing. Sometimes I really, well, I should, but I'm really just playing very simple things. So this is just a pentatonic, you can be able to see it, so I just played on the 12th there, and just basically playing the scale. So it's like 12, 14, 12, 14, 12, 15, 12, 15. Yeah, so basically if you, that's what I play in everything. I don't really play anything else. I just play it in different places depending on what chord I'm playing. Yep, so that's the bridge pickup. I'm not going to argue, it's just, it's a Telecaster, it's not, it is. And this one's got a humbucker in the neck to make it not so Telecastery, but which I suppose you could argue might be a bit muddy, but it kind of works with this guitar. I like having a, you've got like a sort of muddy, really powerful, and then a Telecaster. Oh, you've got them both on at the same time. Yeah, and I've been playing this, it's been my main guitar for the last month. I know it's new, but I mean, it's not, unfortunately I've got more than a couple of new guitars kicking about. But it's quite rare for me to get one that's actually brand spanking new, as in no one's ever owned it before. And this one, even the paint, it's even stank of varnish when I got it because it had only just been painted. But if you're going to buy a Chinese guitar, I think if you get like a Telecaster and you get like quite a simple one, there's not really that much to go wrong with it, really. I mean, everything lines up nicely, and these are the things that it has been done. But I think what happens in the factory is they've got all the bodies sitting there and all the necks and stuff. That's why they can custom make it for you. They're not really custom making it. All they're doing is just they assemble it. And well, it might not be the factory I bought it from. I bought it from a warehouse where they assemble the guitars. The frets were a bit rough when I got it. They were kind of just unplayed. I reckon if you know what you're doing, you could sort it easily. You know, if you're mess about with sandpaper. But I think if you just ignored it and waited a few weeks, the more you play on it, they would just smooth off themselves quite well. As long as you just what I'm just saying is when you're buying these things, don't expect it to be £1,000 guitar. Expect it to sound like one and play like one. That's fine, yeah, totally. I think one of the reasons I like it is because it's so cheap. I mean, this is the cheapest guitar, like a new price. Well, I bought it at a new price that I've ever owned, I think. It really is. And it's beautiful, very pretty. So, Chinese guitars, yeah, but I would get, if you're going to buy a Chinese guitar to try them out, get a Tele, nice and simple, and don't get them to alter it too much. The one that other video guy is, I should really credit him. He was good. I've enjoyed his video. He was obviously quite annoyed that he'd paid £300 for a guitar that didn't work though. But he'd got like a left-handed one, and then he'd asked them to change all the pickups out and all these things. And so basically what they'd done is they'd routed it by hand, the sort of thing. you know, to make it take a humbucker, whereas this one was obviously meant to take a humbucker. The routing's it's not fantastic inside, but it does the job. Everything does the job, it works. And there's something about tellies that I think are just meant to be cheap. But I have been looking into, seriously considering buying in a load of these from the same factory, because I've got the factory's email address, you know, getting them direct and then trying to sell them here. But it's just how much they're worth when people are going to buy them, because you go, oh, China, but the thing is that's where everything's made. That's if you go into the shop, any guitar you buy up to about £500 are going to be made in China. You know, okay, you maybe get some Korean ones, but that's not really any better. It's still, it's not like the, it shouldn't have a stigma attached to it. You still, obviously you'll still get shit ones, but China do make good guitars, and this plays well. You know, it's been built by hand, and you can tell whoever it was built it kind of was as good as me. So they sort of knew what they were doing. It was kind of intonated. It wasn't perfect, but it was kind of there. You know, everyone was set up. Before this left that, before it got posted, somebody played it and made it so it played all right before they sent it, which is nice. But I think there's an element of a wee bit of adjusting, which I suppose is what things that guitar shops should do, which is the idea of a guitar shop. Because this was brand new, you know, this neck had never had strings on it, so it was straight, that's fine, and you put strings on it, then over a couple of weeks those strings pull the neck forward a wee bit. So you adjust the truss rod, that's fine, and then over the next couple of weeks it does it a wee bit again, so you adjust the truss rod again, and then that's kind of it. But because I basically bought this and 10 days later I had it, I had to do that. I can't grumble about that. I wasn't going to wait 3 weeks for it. So Gibson or Chender, I don't know. Doesn't work as well with Fender, does it? Rock.